Award shows are supposed to be filled with laughter, happiness, and recognition. But what about embarrassing moments? Things don't always go to plans, as we know, so much so that I have a part 5 list of things that went wrong for celebrities at these award shows. I'm your host, Joss Bedard. Thanks for coming back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video before we get into it because it really helps us out, and also subscribe so you don't miss our next upload. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Mariah Carey. Back in 2010 at the Palm Springs International Film Festival, she won the award for her role in Precious. She played a social worker and was receiving the award for Breakthrough Actress. She tried to accept her award graciously, but that seemed difficult for her since she had one too many drinks. You could tell she was tipsy the minute she started talking, and the worst part was she was up there with the director of the movie, who just did not seem impressed at all. Mariah ended up apologizing in her speech, saying that it was all the splashes of champagne she had on an empty stomach. She did the best she could as she slurred her way through the speech. Rookie mistake though for drinking on an empty stomach. Like, that is rule number 1 in any drinking guide. Like, always eat, especially on one of the most important nights of your life. Moving on to number 9, we have Eminem. He has made a lot of headlines throughout his career, but this one was weird for everyone. In 2002, he made headlines that read, "Slim Shady fights a puppet." It was at the VMA Awards when the puppet, called Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, started making jokes at him about his feud with the techno artist Moby. Now, the man behind the puppet is comedy writer Robert Smigel, who was just doing his job insulting celebrities in a joking manner. But Eminem was not having the little skit, and he shoved the puppet out of his way, and then one of his friends grabbed Robert's notes and just tossed them into the air. Robert and his puppet were later asked about it during a press conference, and he said, "Try to be easy on Eminem. At the end of the day, he is just another white guy trying to make an honest living, stealing black people's music." Who knew a puppet could cause so much drama and make something that was supposed to be funny into something so serious? Although I can't even imagine Eminem tolerating some sort of insulting puppet. I just can't see him having the patience for that. Cruising into number 8, we have Natalie Portman. Throughout the years, many women in Hollywood have used award shows as an opportunity to call out the inequality within the industry between men and women. Oprah Winfrey did just that at the 2018 Golden Globe Awards, and many actresses have followed suit ever since then. So Natalie Portman thought she would do just that, but the timing for it didn't seem to be the best choice. Most people use their acceptance speech to talk about that, but she brought it up during the presentation of another award. She was on stage with director Ron Howard by her side, and it was their job to have a little conversation before announcing the winner for the Best Director category. Natalie used the opportunity to fake excitement over the fact that all the nominees in the category were men and not women. While her intentions were good, the timing was just super uncomfortable as the male director just awkwardly stood beside her and they presented the award to another male director. It was super awkward. Next up at number 7, we have Bob Dylan. Let me start off by saying this was no way his fault and he had no control over the situation. It was just bad luck that it happened during his performance. His career was not destroyed, but his performance definitely was. And the person to blame for that is a man named Michael Portnoy. He was a New York-based performance artist who jumped on stage during Bob Dylan's performance at the 1998 Grammy Awards. The musician was performing Lovesick with his band, and Michael removed his shirt and ran up on stage and began dancing with the words "soy bomb" painted on his bare chest. He began dancing in this very strange, robotic, contorted manner with his eyes closed, and he later said he used the words on his chest because soy represents dense nutritional life and he wanted art to represent dance, transformation, explosive life. His words, not mine. He was on stage for a total of 35 seconds before being removed by security. Bob Dylan stayed professional though, and he just kept playing as if the man was not right next to him. So props to him, handled it like a champ, but yeah. The performance was definitely, not great. Rolling into spot number 6, we have Nicole Kidman. One of the best parts about award shows is the camera capturing the reactions of audience members. We love to see how people react to other winners or how the losers in the category react to the loss. But sometimes these cameras capture the strangest reactions, and Nicole Kidman's is one of them. It was in 2017 that she made weird headlines after going to the Oscars. The headlines were talking about her very strange clap, which they said looked like a seal clapping. As she sat in the audience next to her husband Keith Urban, she stood up from her chair and started clapping at those who were standing on stage receiving their awards. Bless her heart. That's a normal thing and a very kind thing, but when the camera panned to her and showed the world how she was clapping, it is all Twitter could talk about. Her fingers were pointed out to the side, like away from each other like this, and then when she was clapping, her hands didn't actually touch, so it looked like this. Nicole later said it was because she was wearing a huge ring that was not hers and she did not want to damage it. Halfway through our list at number 5, we have Winona Ryder. Speaking of weird reactions getting caught on camera, Winona is just another person who was caught acting a little bit strange. I can just imagine though what facial expressions like they would capture of me, so I'm in no position to judge. Her reaction was highly talked about at the 2017 SAG Awards. She had joined the cast of Stranger Things on stage to accept the award for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. When they all made their way to the stage, actor David Harbour was giving the speech and her reaction to it was hilarious. Her expressions went from confusion to disgust to fear to joy and then back to confusion. It was hard to focus on the man giving the speech because her roller coaster of emotions was just so much more fun to watch. Cruising into spot number 4, we have Marlon Brando. This one caused a huge controversy, so your opinion might differ from someone else's. At the 1973 Oscar Awards, apparently he wasn't interested in accepting the award for his movie The Godfather. So instead of him going up and accepting his award, he sent Sacheen Littlefeather, a 26-year-old Native American activist and aspiring actress. She didn't quite give an acceptance speech though. It was actually quite the opposite. She read excerpts from a letter that was prepared by Marlon rejecting the award because of the treatment of American Indians today by the film industry. As she was reading, the audience gave her mixed emotions, with some people booing and some people applauding. A lot of people were just very confused as to why he would reject an Oscars award, and if he was going to do that, then they said that he should be the one to do so. Let me know what you guys think about this, because I'm actually curious on, your opinion. Making their way into number 3 is Frank Capra. The Academy Awards is probably a time when you want to use last names when presenting an award, especially when you're using a common name like Frank. An incredibly awkward and embarrassing moment happened to Frank Capra in 1934 when he thought he had won an award that he actually didn't. Will Rogers presented the Best Director award by saying, "Come up and get it, Frank." Frank Capra was nominated for Lady for a Day and just assumed that he meant it was him who won the award, so he started walking towards the stage. But the award was actually for Frank Lloyd. Frank Capra actually talked about this moment in his memoir, describing the very painful moment of returning to his seat, and he called it the longest, saddest, most shattering walk of shame in his life. That is the ultimate walk of shame. There's no recovering from that. Up next, number 2, we have Taylor Swift. Don't worry, Frank, you are not the only one who thought an award was for them when it wasn't. Taylor Swift also got ahead of herself at the 2014 Grammy Awards. She was one of the nominees for the Best Album category, and her album Red was the center of attention, so she probably felt that she had a very good chance of winning. As Alicia Keys read out the winner, the name of the album began with an R, so Taylor and her team thought they won the award and immediately just started celebrating. It was super awkward because the camera captured them celebrating right away, but then they quickly realized that it actually was not her album at all, and they did not actually win the award. It just started with an R, and they got ahead of themselves. In our number 1 spot is Robert Opel. I don't think anything ruins a career as much as streaking does. That is right, this activist ran on stage naked in 1974 at the Oscar Awards. That takes some guts to say the least. The Oscar host host David Niven was on stage and he was trying to introduce someone, and people in the audience just randomly started screaming in shock. Robert ran on stage naked right behind David, flashing the peace sign. It was a moment that went down in history, but how David handled it was actually everyone's favorite part. After the streaking moment was over, David said to the crowd, "The only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings." He deserves an award just for how he handled that situation. Alright guys, that is our part 5 list. Before I get out of here though, I'm going to do some comment shoutouts from some of my other videos. MLG Gamer says, wait, did you say there was going to be a Zoe 101 reboot and a Friends reboot? Wow, this year is full of reboots, I say. Yes, Friends reboot reunion was confirmed, and also Zoe 101, but with COVID it might just be delayed, I assume. Pavey Project says, wow, I will be looking forward to see Mark Wahlberg's new movie. Honestly, I just want to watch it now to see like his drastic weight gain and him play that character. So I'm with you. The Adventures of Rachel and Ava says, Adele looks gorgeous. I don't get why she's gotten so much hate for it. Honestly, I know. It's like before her weight loss transformation, everyone just probably like called her fat online and were rude to her. And then when she lost weight, everyone's like, you're too skinny. It's like, you can't win. All right, guys, that is all I got. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss another one. I was your host, Joss Bedard. I will see you next time. Bye.